Today, we are talking shop on partner-led UGC, how to get content from your distributors, your dealers, your reps, and your resellers. I mean, really anyone in your channel. Those are just the main ones that came to mind, but we're talking here sponsors too, right? Manufacturers, they count too. You're going to leave today with at least a 14-day pilot to get 3 to 5 solid partner contributions, plus that win-win pitch that's going to get them contributing consistently, plus the basic workflows in MarketScale Studio that will help you guys sort all of these goals out, right? So when we talk about partner UGC, this is part of the larger goal of user-generated content. When we take on the mission of user-generated content, we take on the mission of decentralizing content contribution across a ton of different communities. One of the key communities that we tout here, the 3 C's, right? You've got your colleagues, your customers, and ding, 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 your channel, right? These are the main communities that we say are most valuable for you guys to activate. Channel seems to be the one that trips up our customers the most. I'd love to hear in chat, how many of you actually struggle with activating your channel partners? Is this one of those goals on the horizon? Is this one of those things you keep telling yourself, yeah, we got to do it, but to no avail? Or maybe you've tried and it hasn't quite seen some success, right? Yeah, Jody, tried doing this last year. Motivation's a challenge. I get that. There's so many different content lanes to launch. What's another one on there, right? But what we hope to do with today is give you guys some playbooks that are really more human oriented than anything, that will help you set the basic rules, right? Low lift, authentic content, partner first content that builds momentum over perfection. That actually helps to move the needle for you guys on these goals, because channel content compared to even colleague or customer content is one of those opportunities to tap a creator with a win-win proposition that you really can't replicate anywhere else. So rather than staying in hypothetical land, we're going to dig in today. We're going to break down, again, the step 1, 2, 3, and 4 for getting your channel partner content activated. So we're going to break down 1, how to choose the right partners. 2, how to present UGC as a win-win offer, not a favor. 3, how to reduce friction using MarketScale Studio for some of your basic workflows. And 4, how to make these contributions ones that actually stick. And I'm really excited about today's episode because we are platforming some MarketScale community members, real B2B pros out there who are living and breathing this challenge, who are living and breathing activating their channel partners. And they've done so with success. They've got some consistent lanes, and they're here to talk shop on what worked, what didn't, and how you can replicate it. So let's dive into it, folks. I want to go ahead and welcome our guests. First up from AMAG Technologies, we are joined by Miss Kim Rayfeld. Kim, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, Daniel. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for being here. Give the people your 30-second elevator pitch. What do you do at AMAG? What's your role? And why do you love UGC?
Okay. I am the Director of Marketing and Public Relations at AMAG. Been there over 20 years. And we love UGC content because it's really helped us elevate our brand. It's helped us look different in the marketplace in the absolute best way possible.
Amazing. And you guys have been successful at getting your channel partners moving and cooking on some thought leadership content. So we're going to be diving into that here very soon. I also want to welcome our second guest. We're double timing it for y'all today. Not just one customer, but 2. We're bringing on Mr. Ray Novak from ICOM America, another UGC champion out there. Ray, welcome. How you doing, man?
I'm Ray Novak. I'm with ICOM America. I've been with them for quite a few more than 20 years, but we'll just stick with that number. Senior sales manager over 3 of our divisions with our company, and been doing UGC since 2001. So before a lot of this was even conceived and developed, but using video to get out there and other kind of content to get to the consumer, as well as get this consumer to talk about your products and your services.
Yep. Look, we've got two great B2B pros here coming at us from the sales side, from the marketing side, coming at us from different industries, right? We've got the kind of the ham radio world. And Kim, why don't you remind folks here, what world of tech does AMAG play in?
Sure thing. We manufacture security and access control software and hardware.
So there you go, folks. We're covering a little bit of everything today. We wanted to make sure to give you a perspective from the field that we're diverse. So again, let's talk shop on channel partner content, right? I want to start by asking y'all some intro questions here to set the tone and hopefully create a little bit of, relatability here with our audience, right? What's been your philosophy high level? And I'd love to hear from both of y'all on this. What's been your philosophy high level on partner-led content, right? What do you want it to feel like? What don't you want it to feel like? And kind of generally, what's been your headspace, your ethos as you've approached this content lane? Let's start with Kim.
We want it to feel like, we want it to feel comfortable for our channel. And so we approach things as a partnership, so to speak. So we try to make them understand that this is a benefit to them. And we often go on camera with them and engage in a dialogue or have a conversation just to try to make them feel more comfortable. So we approach it from a partnership perspective and always try to make them understand that, this might be a little nerve-wracking being in front of the camera, but once you kind of get started, it's not so bad. And we're right there to help you out through some of the things that we do to prep for it. So that's our philosophy.
I love it. And Ray, how about for you? What kind of culture, what kind of approach have you tried to build towards your channel partner activations?
The biggest thing for us, because the three divisions that I'm over are all hobby type industries, we tried to engage the consumers to identify what they like, what drives their passion for the hobby, and then show how our products can tie into what they want to do. The amateur radio side of it has been my primary focus, but the last 4 years, I have gained access to doing our marine radios as well as aviation. So it's taken some time to learn that and really identify partners out there to work with. In the marine industry, we've actually partnered with a 500-ton captain, Captain Kelly. She has her own channel, but drives a lot of content and really helps us with a segment called Fact or Fiction. So again, try to incorporate the users to help us tell the story.
And Kim, real quick for clarity, who are the main reps, the main channel partners that you guys have activated? Like, where do they slot in role-wise in y'all's channel?
So we have had a lot of success working with our technology partners. So we are a manufacturer of security equipment, and we integrate with hundreds of other technologies out there for physical security. And we've got very close technology partnerships with several. And so we've invited them to come on and talk about our integrations, talk about their successes. We've also had success in activating our integrator or reseller channel. So, which can be challenging. The partner side was a little bit easier for us because they see the value. The reseller, we sell our products through the reseller or the integrator channel. And so for us, it was really key to get that channel, to activate that channel. So we do a lot of, we've done some work with that channel, and it's been very successful.
Yeah, love it. All right. So folks, I wanted to make sure we set the table correctly before we dig into the advice, right? This is the kind of, in the weeds perspective that you're going to be getting here from Kim and Ray. You've got on Ray's side, the experience of activating essentially product reps out in the field, right? These are hobbyist reps, passionate about the product, but folks looking to build some of their own channels, right? On Kim's side, you've got integrators. You've also got technology partners on the back end that make AMAG Technology Solutions what they are, right? So these are actually really solid archetypes that represent some of the main styles of reps out there, dealers, manufacturers, whatever, that you guys are looking to activate as well. We've got a question already in chat here. William saying, which partner personas are you engaging with to get good UGC? What a great question, and that's something we're about to get into here. So I'm going to put a pin in that one, as I think we're going to get your question answered here. But I'd love for y'all to share your perspectives here in chat too, okay? Because this is really meant to be a group brainstorm. It's a challenge a lot of our customers face with getting their channel moving on content. So Kim, Ray, let's get into the meat of things now. Partner-led UGC that actually sticks. Okay, so again, today, I'm going to make sure y'all walk away with some playbook action items. Ideally, 14 solid days worth of action, movement, strategy that will help you secure some partner contributions that match to your actual needs. And let's come back around to our previous workshop that we did on our edit requests, where we were giving y'all some guidance on how to craft a video post-event or post-trade show. That's actually worth a damn, right? The main takeaway from that one was all your videos should have a job, right? Your video needs to serve a business goal, a purpose. You're not just making content to throw at the wall. And that business goal motivation, what job is this video serving, is intrinsic to a lot of what we're going to be covering today when we talk about activating your partners. No channel partners are just going to want to create content for content's sake or to do a marketing point of contact a favor. Maybe once, but that's not a system, right? And so today we're going to start getting into those headspaces and strategies for building said systems. So let's start here. Why partner content stalls in the first place? Okay, so let's diagnose the pain points. These also translate over to the solutions too, right? So pain point one is that there's no win-win going on here when you're pitching a partner to involve themselves in content. It's unclear why they're being asked to get involved. The partner feels used, not supported. Does this sound familiar to you? Okay, next one. Friction. There's too much friction. It takes too much effort, too many clicks, bells, and whistles to actually get content from someone. Really, it's more that there's too much coordination. On their end, it feels way too difficult to get you what you need or to participate. And it's where technology plays a role. We'll get into that too. And then follow through, another big one, right? Yes, maybe you get that one good win, but you don't have a system to take advantage of that win and turn it into a habit. There's no feedback loop. You're not doing enough to stimulate that one connection and turn that potential partner into a consistent contributor. So again, these are why partner content usually stalls. I'd love to see in chat which of these is most relevant to y'all here in chat. Where do you experience the most friction? Is it mostly you feel like things aren't win-win enough? You've got too much tech friction, or you have some wins, but there isn't really a culture of celebration or follow through on those contributions you get from your partners. Everything's a little too one-off. Would love to hear where y'all are struggling. But Kim, Ray, this to me screams, it's not really a content problem that keeps channel partners from contributing. It's more of a system problem, as the slide deck succinctly puts here, right? I'd love to hear from y'all before you started launching into UGC strategies, making this a big focus for y'all. Which of these friction points did you feel the most? Can't hear you for some reason, Ray. Check that mic one more time. Looks like you're not muted, so it might just be your connection there. Kim, thoughts? What have been, before you really started taking this channel partner activation strategy seriously, what were your main areas of stalling, right? Your friction points.
So I would definitely say the friction. It takes too much to coordinate. It's talking to your salesperson and then getting them to talk to the customer and then getting them involved and then setting up the time and then they cancel. And that was a challenge. And then also like trying to explain to them how easy this really is. Like, it's really not that hard. You log in and you talk, or we'll film you on our camera. And once we could simplify it, we had more success. But the win-win part was definitely, part of that equation that we had to really overly communicate and clear up with our channel partners to make them understand that this is really pretty simple. And once we did that, then we had some success.
And, folks, I think these are familiar and, they're valid reasons not to do content, right? So I understand, if your partners feel like they're being used for content, if there's too much friction, if you don't have the time to create feedback loops, makes sense, right? Why content isn't really happening at scale. What we're going to do is help you walk through how to tackle each of these really. And I want to make sure that we, draw some attention to what we're seeing here in chat. And this is for, the folks watching back who can't read the chat too. We have folks saying everything is too one-off, right? We need to establish a culture of celebration. We have folks in chat saying tech is a big challenge, right? Partners asking, what do they get out of this, right? Simplicity being a challenge. Win-win, critical for partnerships. Lack of time, right? Finding the team on their end to make it happen. Who do we involve? So a lot of confusion, a lot of moving pieces. And each one of these little moving pieces usually turns into a reason to just kick the can down the road and do something with less variables and more under your control. But what we're going to get into here now, as we go through, too fast. There we go. As we go through targeting the right creators, offering the right playbook, reducing friction for contribution, and then making it stick. As we tackle each of these, I hope that you guys get a new set of tools that you can bring to the table here to solve those problems for yourselves. Okay, so we're going to start again. Your 14-day pilot roadmap here is first things first. If you want to solve for you can't get your channel partners activated on content, best place to start is better target your first creators. Okay, we'll get into that more here in a second. Step 2 is going to be you want to offer things the right way. And this isn't just a blanket approach. Everyone's win-win pitch is going to be different. How you sell a hobbyist rep for your radio product is going to be very different than how you sell a integrator partner for security technologies to participate in content, right? So there are different nuances, but the heart of the mission is the same. You got to find that connective tissue. What's the win-win chain link that's going to make sense for them to participate? Step 3 is going to be you launch the right workflow in MarketScale Studio or whatever recording platform you're using. So we hope here you're already a studio user to make this simple for you. Are you sitting down and recording the person face-to-face? Are you sending them a request link? Right? How can you leverage your brand books or your saved orders to help you scale this kind of content so it goes from being a simple ad hoc project to a simple, repeatable style of media? And last but not least, tips and tricks for making things stick. Okay? All right, so let's jump into step 1. So, step 1, if you want to finally get your channel partners creating content, identify the first 5. Who are the first 5 creators in your community, the first 5 channel partners across the various different channels that we're talking shop on here, who are actually going to participate? A major challenge or a slip up that I see from our customers is that, okay, there's excitement. It's time to launch UGC, and they go for the Fortune 10 company in their portfolio to start. Well, guess what? You go for the Fortune 10 company. Yeah, you'd get a slam dunk banger of a case study or something. But what about all the red tape? What about all of the bureaucracy? What about all of the different steps of buy-in you got to get? Okay. Yes, the big names are great. Everyone wants to show those off in their channel. But what's more important is proving something to your channel first. Go to the people with the best relationships. Go to the people who can help prove the system back to itself, right? You don't want people who are slow to move at this stage. You want to pick the partners who are most tied to the hip with you, who are passionate, who already maybe have their own reason for being there, right? So let's hear from Kim and Ray here. How did you guys pick your first contributors? What were y'all's strategies that worked for when you sat down to launch channel-led content, channel partner content? How did you make sense of who to start with? What was y'all's radar? How'd you come to that decision? Kim, you want to take us off?
I'll jump in. Yeah, so we started with picking friendly partners, people that we've had long-term relationships with, who understood our business very, very thoroughly, who've been doing work with us for a long time and could see the value in creating UGC content with us. So we started with, and we also, like you just said, we started with our smaller customers because we know that we're not going to get the Fortune 50s to jump on because there's way too much red tape and approvals that need to be had before that your project can be finished. So starting smaller was helpful with smaller customers, I should say. So we've had a lot of success with that, and then again, sometimes depending on what we were doing, because we have different types of videos that we create, we would do a podcast with them. So we have an AMEG Asks podcast. So the podcast host would ask questions, prompt them along, and make them feel comfortable. And that also generated a lot of success for us.
Nice. Like Kim was saying, and like my strategy here is reiterating, go for the easy wins. You're building a system here, okay? You're not putting the big gold medal on the shelf immediately. You got to work towards that. And the way you work towards that is you identify the people who have a reason for wanting to collaborate with you in the first place. I love these little tick boxes here on the right-hand side. I think this really speaks to how you can gauge who makes the right pick for your first 5 channel partner creators. Maybe they already post content. That's a great place to start, right? Maybe they already have some marketing constraints. Maybe they already want visibility. Maybe you already have a friendly relationship with them. These are the kinds of gauges that you should check to say, yep, they are the ones we should start with to prove the concept back to our partner community. So folks that are already posting content on their LinkedIn, this proves to you they're already comfortable sharing, right? They are already leading from the front. They already understand that video content is valuable. So the pitch is going to be a little more straightforward. If you have someone in your partner community that opposite, you see posting 0 to LinkedIn. Their last post was Happy Halloween 2024. Right? We all have channel partners whose LinkedIn look barren like that. Reach out to them. Say, hey, I noticed you haven't posted literally anything in 18 months. We invested in a tool that is going to help us with our marketing. We'd love to work with you guys to help you with yours too. Great. The pitch is baked in there, right? Number 3, do they want visibility? Guys, play to charisma, play to ego. Do you have that channel partner who's already kind of doing selfie videos straight to LinkedIn, who you know is a big, bold personality? They love the opportunity to riff, to talk a little bit. Loop them in first. Lead with that energy and charisma. It is a success strategy. It will show back to your audience that you have passionate people in your partner community. And last but not least, again, friendly relationships. Go to the people who, you built your company with, those partners who've been there since day one. Start there. They're going to be safe to test things out with. The stakes are low. You can fumble over your words and trip over yourself on camera a little bit, and you won't feel too self-conscious about it because they're essentially a friend, right? And not a channel partner you're looking to impress by bringing on the content. So make things simple for yourselves. Use these 4 metrics to gauge who makes up your first 5 creators. Okay. I'm going to call out this comment in chat. I think it's a solid one here from William. We have some partners that have a great, successful, long-standing relationship with our company, but some of these partners are hesitant to do things differently. Does it make sense to target newer partners who've had a couple of wins and are newer to our channel? That is a great point, William, and I would say yes. I'd say that is a smart play. Just because someone's newer to your ecosystem doesn't mean they have less to say. If anything, a fresh relationship where let's say you polished up your onboarding, you guys feel really confident about this new wave of customers, or of channel partners, and you've brought them into the fold and they're really eager about the partnership. There's still a celebratory attitude around it. Lean into that. Take that organic moment of we're on the same page, we're moving in the same direction. Let's do a little content together, right? That's a great play. You're going to hear a lot of these plays are more human oriented than anything. You're kind of playing to real people and involving real people in content.
If you start to do this content with your newer partners, some of your older partners might see, oh, look what they're doing with new customer or new partner. That looks interesting, and have FOMO or whatever and want to participate. Sometimes it's just a ripple effect of that, and we've seen that as well on our end.
Go for that newer customer. That can break the ice with the older customer. One of the things that I've done is I've done interviews with some of my channel partners, and then took the interview, chopped it up into smaller bits, and then asked them to go ahead and push it as a collaboration between the two. And the response that they've received because of these smaller bits and pieces, they then become a more avid follower of doing UCG or UGC. Sorry.
Whatever, man. Well, we'll cut through the acronym jargon today.
Yeah.
Today's not about jargon. But yeah, Ray, you're spot on there. You're spot on. Okay, folks, let's jump to step 2, the win-win pitch. We're seeing this a lot in chat here. I love seeing everyone sharing their advice for what's worked and what hasn't. This is great. Belinda here, you got a great point in chat. Belinda's a PR specialist. She says, going from zero to a great story requires a strong internal champion inside the targeted partner or customer even to pave the way to content. So true. And this is kind of what we're getting to here, right? As you identify the right partners and kind of the reason that makes them the right partner, you also have to identify what is the pitch? How do you identify a creator internally? Because sometimes this comes down to literally pitching one person. What is the win-win pitch for that one person? Okay, so let's dive into step 2 here. Finding your win-win play. These are just a few of the options, right? But take notes on these because I'd love to hear how you guys deploy these and if they work for you or not. So play number A. That's great. Play letter 1, play number A. The co-marketing pitch. This pitch is all around from the jump saying there is something in this for both of us if we take advantage of this tool and take advantage of this content, right? So the format here is highlighting projects, highlighting work that you have done together with that partner where you can both speak from a place of authority. You prove your thought leadership, right? The win for the partner is credibility. When you guys are collaborating on content together where both of your logos can be on there, both of you are talking shop on a major trend that impacts both of your audiences, that's credibility for them as much as it is for you. You both have a reason for sitting down and saying, we need to put messaging out there on that trend or topic or technology or product, right? And the brand win here for you is distribution. You get someone bought in on co-marketing, meaning they are eager to push this out to their channels as well. So you launch content that celebrates y'all's partnership, that shows your shared areas of expertise. You're then able to prove that credibility for them, and you're able to get free distribution essentially from those partners. So win, 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 right? Kim, I think this is pretty familiar to your approach here with activating your technology partners, right? A lot of the content you're doing is singing their praises, sort of evangelizing their great work, and you guys sitting down for collaborative conversations, not like a one-sided Q&A, but a more open discussion on AMAG Asks. Tell me a little bit about how this play has worked for you.
Yeah, we've got a podcast called AMAG Asks, and our tech partners come on there and we have a conversation. We discuss our integration. We discuss how it works. We discuss how it benefits the customer. We talk about our relationship with that partner, and how long we've been together and some of the successes that we've had. And we try to feature our partners and prop them up and put them in the spotlight. And we've had a lot of success. Our technology partners love this. They want to be a part of this AMAG Asks podcast once they've seen the others that we've done. And they look like thought leaders. They can share the content on their LinkedIn page. We do a lot for social media. And it's been a hugely successful for us on this side to tell these integration stories and how our integrations help customers.
Love it. Ray, I'm going to loop you in here for the next one, which is play number B. I'm just going to keep up the little verbal slip up there because it's making me chuckle on the inside. Play number B is the Spotlight series. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily have to be the format that it says here, right? Podcast style interview. This is just the best place to start if you're unsure what kind of content to create. But a Spotlight approach to involving partners makes it a celebration and makes it really like the content becomes secondary to the customer engagement. It's like a partner engagement strategy, right? So you say, partner, I would love to show off all of your great work in X, Y, or Z. Partner, I saw this huge announcement on a new product you're pushing out or this new market or new vertical that you're breaking into. Would love to give you a chance to show your authority in that new vertical. Why don't you join our podcast? You are now involving a partner in something that's very important to them. For you, it's valuable to show that you are a thought leadership pro, right, to your audience. And because it's a series, because you're now building a channel that you can engage your partners in repeatedly, even if it's different guests, different hosts, it's just an umbrella of consistency. You now have stickiness with that thought leadership. You're building a lane of consistency, both for your partners to say, oh, that's that series I can participate in, but also for your audience. They come to expect it releases once a week, once every other week, right? Ray, I want to loop you in for this one because I think you have done a really good job here with your product reps around Spotlight series. Captain Kelly comes to mind with the Fact or Fiction series, right? This is a lot of thought leadership. This is basically spotlighting one rep, one creator, but with the premise of building a consistent lane of content. Tell me a little bit about your approach towards that play and how that worked for you, why it's working in your industry and for your partners.
Well, part of it started with our Radios in Action series, covering all 5 of the different radio divisions that we have within our company. And tasking Captain Kelly with the Fact or Fiction was kind of to break outside our mold in the old style of just a interview with a customer or a life story that was exciting to just bring that grassroots type of customer base. But with Captain Kelly, and we're about to expand to another partner where they do live streams. Give me the full live stream dump and then let us split it up to different learning segments and just let it be a natural flow of how-tos and where to get started and things like that. So we've taken your play B and looks like we're going to play D all in one swoop here.
Yeah, we're rocking all of them here today. But yeah, folks, we're already seeing here the co-marketing play and the Spotlight play. They both work well. They've worked well for Kim and Ray here, right? So if you don't know where to start with some of those two, because they are very straightforward in how you pitch them. Play A is you are pitching to your partners. We both have a need for marketing content. I know you, partner, are feeling the pain. We are too. Let's collaborate to solve. Done. Pick a product, for example, right? And use that as a starting point to collaborate. For the Spotlight series, it's the total opposite of, instead of, hey, let's come to the table. We have the same problem. Let's solve it together with content. It's, partner, we value you. We want to tell your story. This is a similar approach to, how I recommend our customers go into their testimonial content too, for example. Right. Now, play C here, the friction solver. Kind of falls in line with co-marketing here, but is even more targeted. This is about identifying, okay, this partner serves X role in our channel. Let's say they are your reseller. Okay, so you produce your product, they help you sell it to a region. Or maybe you have a regional sales lead who manages a collection of reps, and these reps are tasked with selling that product and being a connection driver. The friction solver play is saying, let's go to that point in the sales pipeline and identify with that channel partner where are we having trouble moving product. Just quite literally, push the content goal to the side and let's just diagnose our business challenges. Where are we seeing friction in the sales pipeline? Okay, great. Let's create some content that solves for that friction point. And that is the entry point for your partner. So you've got a channel partner struggling to move product, struggling to educate around a new tool, struggling to, let's say it's a manufacturing partner. Let's say it's a manufacturing partner that's, maybe helping you design a new product. And there's a lot of internal comms that are creating confusion. Content doesn't all have to be for LinkedIn. Sometimes we're creating content that involves partners. That's all practical. It's about improving internal collaboration. Hey, can you screen share that and turn it into a nice video so that our technical team can study up on those manufacturing changes? Boom. Now you've got that partner engaged in content and you can tap them more consistently. So the friction solver play here is all about finding that real pain point, creating some how-to content, some objection handling content, some educational content. For the partner, the win is they get tools that are, the video has a job oriented, right? So in this example, it's sales tools. The brand win for you is just base level adoption. With this approach, you're not really pitching someone on consistent content contributions. You're just finding the base level way to get them involved, securing that one win, and then kind of proving to everyone involved, we did that. That wasn't that mysterious, right? We did that. Now let's expand on that concept a little bit. Would you like to try thought leadership now, right? So, Kim or Ray, any experience with this approach here? Have y'all seen this in action? Have you deployed this yourself, and has it worked for you?
For friction solving, we've created demo videos. So we sell software and we get a lot of questions about how to fix something or how to do something in your software. How do you add a card holder or how do you add a camera? And, so we've internally done videos that we call them training videos. And we've also worked with our partners and done like joint demo videos as well that will live on our partner portal, for example, rather than LinkedIn. So we've had some success with that. And we've actually developed a library of short training videos where customers can go in and learn something real quick, which of course then reduces their tech support time with our, tech support department and, reduces friction that way. So that's been our experience.
I love that example. Again, folks, not every piece of content you pick has to be, like a big LinkedIn series push, something that, feels like it would be sexy on the algorithm. Sometimes the best play for getting your partners involved in content is what Kim's describing. We've got a lot of customers that ask us a lot of questions about that integration. It takes up 30% of our ticketing questions. Okay, partner, can we sit down and create some content together that helps answer that question for our customers? Now we can integrate it in our chatbot. Now we can add it to our FAQ page. Now it's going to save us time and money. And now we have a partner that participates in content. Right. So I love this approach because of how practical it is and kind of no nonsense, right? Kind of like ditch all the marketing that are getting in the way of launching a content. Dive into the practical business goal related reasons to launch.
Yeah, and we've used it internally for internal training as well as some of our behind the firewall type training for our partners. And it captures a lot of the genuine aspects and even some of the obstacles that you run into while doing some of the setups and things like that.
Love it, man. Exactly. Practical content is a great place to start for engaging your partners. And then Play D, we don't need to spend too much time on this one because it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you're looking for a really simple way to get your partners participating in content, it's take some existing video they already have and repurpose it for something. Do them the favor of saying, hey, guess what? We invested in a marketing platform that helps us edit our content on demand. We'd love to help you as a partner. We're just going to throw you this win. We're going to make you a little hype reel. You guys got some videos you could send us? We can just cook up a quick edit. Awesome. You just deliver them a free piece of marketing content. Maybe you use this as an opportunity to say, hey, we're trying to build a partner showcase page. Can you send me 90 seconds of you, webcam or selfie mode, talking a little bit about what you do with the company, how you prove value to your customers? Send me some videos you already have on your YouTube. We're going to polish all that up and turn it into a nice get to know you video. That's another solid example. The partner win here for them is very low friction. They barely have to do anything to see some value and participate in content with you. It's basically, let's repurpose stuff we've already got. For you, the win is fast content. This is a very simple way to get extra assets from your channel, leverage them for some useful media, and kind of bring them one step closer to the core of this UGC mission. So I want to go ahead and jump to our next step here real quick, which is to talk about how to use MarketScale Studio to improve some of these workflows. I don't want to spend too much time on this so we can get to my favorite part here, which is how do we get this to stick, right? But real quick, let me go ahead and just share my screen here on MarketScale Studio. So these workflows are pretty standard, right? But you want to be thinking about these downstream from who am I activating and what is the most realistic way I'm going to get content from that partner. This is a human challenge. It's like a psychology game. How is that creator actually going to get me media? Is this someone I can invite into the platform and kind of give them the keys and say, you've got a reason for being here. Let's see what content you make. Let's collaborate, right? That would be play A, the co-marketing play. For that, you just want to invite users directly into the platform. So you can invite your channel partners into the platform. You guys don't have user limits, right? So let's say Bob Jones at yahoo.com. Whoever Bob Jones is at Yahoo, I'm sorry, I add you to everything. Bob Jones, you can make him a guest user. So your channel partners can be guest users. When they log in, all they see is their own content. They won't even see other content from your team or other partners. Good way to create some basic silos, keep them, in their bubble, but fully able to log in and take advantage of a content creation ecosystem, right? Steven, your question here is relevant. Do people outside of the company need to create an account to upload or join a room on MarketScale? So the answer there is no, they don't. So as much as I recommend that you add your own users to the platform and invite your channel partners to be users, it all depends on the play. So if your play here is they can be trusted or they have a reason for doing content themselves, it's a co-marketing win. Let's invite them in as a guest user. However, if the play here is these are partners that are tech averse, the friction point is tech, they're likely not going to take to you messaging them and saying, here's a new platform for you to log into. This is where you may want to use the request function. The request tool is probably the most flexible tool for y'all to get content from your partners, because what you can do is build one hub for submission. You send that link out to your community, and they can all just respond to the prompts you've built on screen, right? So here's an example of a finished survey. I built this for a previous session. But you can build something like this, where you prompt people to log in and respond to different topics. This was me asking our audience, hey, what topics do you want to hear on a future UGC workshop live, right? But here I've let people say they can respond over video or text. So you send them this link, they open it on their phone, and they're greeted with some questions, and all they have to do is choose how they want to respond to that question. They wipe their hands clean of it. You get the content you need, and now you can take those clips and turn them into an edit. You can polish them up. But for the partner, all they had to do was essentially respond to a survey, right? They don't have to make an account. They don't have to log in, right? So this is one way to get content from your people as well. But I also want to recommend for, all the podcast ideas we had, all the interview ideas we had, everything where, you're in virtual discussion with someone else, or you're encouraging people to record themselves on camera. You can also encourage your partners to log in and use the record tool. So you can build yourself a test room here, or an actual record room. I'll just call it test. You can invite other creators into here. And then this record room is where you can record podcasts, is where you can record, one-on-one thought leadership, solo thought leadership, screen shares, all that stuff. So again, there is no requirement for you to have to make an account for your partners for them to contribute to content. However, for those best ones out there, if we go back to our contribution strategy here, your first fives. These first fives are probably going to be people that you can reliably invite to the platform, right? Reliably people you can invite to the platform. So let's jump now to here, step 4, making it stick. So folks, we've gone over the basics here, right? Number 1, you want to pick the right people to be contributors from day one. These partners need to be people who already have a reason to contribute. Let's just go back over this visually, right? Pick people who are going to help you move the needle quick wins. Okay? 2, pick the play. What's the win-win menu? What's the win-win play that's going to get people involved in your partner content strategy? Okay. Step 3 is, well, don't worry about the presentation there. It's use MarketScale Studio, really. I mean, more importantly, it's use systems to help you scale and understand how your technology, how your tools can be deployed to make these workflows simple. So if you've got a creator who needs hand-holding, sit them down for a record interview, right? Q&A, get that great knowledge from your partner in a sit-down format. If you've got someone that needs just a curated link, yeah, they'll respond, but they don't need to be logging into a platform, really. Build them requests. Send those out their way. But if you've got those content champions, the folks that you want to be consistent contributors, invite them in as a guest user and start collaborating with them on a co-marketing strategy, for example. Okay, last but not least, and let me pull my my guests back onto the stage here. We are going to talk shop on how to make things stick, the contribution loop. This is critical, right? This is where I wanted to make sure we end. Yes, you can get great contributors to submit content from your channel early. Yes, you can find a good pitch. Yes, you can use your tools effectively. But if you don't find a way to make that repeatable, to turn it into a habit, and to identify the kind of psychological challenges that you need to conquer, then you're going to be starting from scratch every single time. How do you get your partners to contribute consistently? That's the real goal here. That's why steps 1 through 3 matter, because if you do those right, getting it to be a consistent contribution loop is even easier than than it sounds, because you pitched it the right way, you have them involved in the right way, you pick the right people to build these wins and build a system, right? Now, making it stick, right? The real goal here is that at the point of repeat, so this is steps 1 through 3 is repeat here. Once you've got things published, You want to then make sure you celebrate that content with your customers. Okay, so be overt, with your partners, right? Be overt about sharing this with your partners. Hype it up. Send it out one-on-one to that point of contact. Send it, reply all to the whole company. I mean, the whole partner company. Hey, check out, showcase your boss, or we showcase this lady in engineering. I think everyone would love to see this, right? Great. Celebrate it on social too. Okay, be loud and proud about it. Equip your partners. That's the next step with Share Kit. This is something that I try to do. For example, Kim and Ray can speak to this. I sent them some graphics. I sent them some material to help promote the show. Equip your people with a Share Kit that helps them share the content that they participate in with you. This doesn't have to be that complex. It can be a graphic, or when you request an edit for the video in MarketScale Studio, let's say it's a podcast, also ask for a 60-second snippet. Ask for a promo piece as well in your edit request. Now you've got the perfect piece of Share Kit material to share back out with your partner. And then you are going to want to gauge the impact. Not just clicks, not just engagement, but is this making my partner more engaged? Right? Have I successfully measured, engaged the level of interest, the level of participation, the communication enthusiasm the partner's bringing to the table, right? All of this does matter. And you're going to want to make sure that you take notes and you are data-driven with who you activate, how you activate them, and be willing to toss out a strategy that you thought might work but didn't. None of these strategies have to be ones that you run for, months and months and months before you make a pivot. You try to activate someone with, a play that has them do co-marketing strategies with you and it doesn't stick, toss it. Pick a different one. Maybe you need to do a sales FAQ video series with them instead, and that will help them see the value, right? So Kim and Ray, need to hear from you guys on this one. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now you're back. How have y'all helped make your content stick with your audience, or with your partners, right? This is really important. How have you found ways to take these contributions and turn them into a consistent machine, or really taking even any one of those partners and turning them into a consistent contributor? What has worked for you guys? How have you built this into a contribution loop for yourselves? Let's start with Ray on this one.
One of the things that we've done is just constantly go back to them, show them the analytics that we're seeing, comparing it with their analytics, and seeing how we should help both our channel as well as their channel. And that's been the most successful for us, because the partners that we're reaching out to are the ones that they're growing their brand as well.
And Ray, can you expand on that a little bit? Because I think you've done a really solid job of turning your contributors into consistent contributors. I know you guys do a really good job, and you specifically are hyper fixated really on this engagement feedback loop of making every content contribution a win and turning that win into a moment of celebration, right? Can you expand on all that a little bit more? Just tell us a story maybe of a contributor who, you deployed that approach with, and it really worked to get them as a consistent partner.
Well, one of the things in with it is we do put a value on what we're doing with our partners. So we'll do different things to help their followers engage more, whether it's swag, T-shirts. We've actually incentivized people with actually radios as well, as far as participation. And not only do we get those partners to come into our channel, but we also participate in their channel. So it's not just one avenue. It's not just, hey, it's our way or the highway. It's how can we collaborate together, and actually have been with more than just one collaborator at a time. Case in point, I'm traveling right now in a hotel room, and last night I was doing a live stream on another partner's channel. and it was going over our product, showing the differences of a previous one. And just working with Leah yesterday on another channel partner, and I explained earlier, give us your content that you're using, let us put it in MarketScale, and then we're going to start chopping it up into smaller video snippets so we can go to Facebook Reels, we can go to Instagram, we can go to TikTok, in addition to their channels that are using these multiple platforms as well. So there's not just one perfect platform to follow. There's many different platforms out there. I've seen some suggestions, and even looking at Reddit and some of the newer forums and groups to market your product through. And it's how do you get to all of them? You're not going to do it by yourself, but if you get good collaborative partners, they can help you then push it all out through the various content, or through the content channels, I should say.
Yeah, love it. Kim, I'd love to hear from you on this too. How have you made your partners' content contributions stick? What has worked for you? What hasn't? And whether it's building a consistent channel, regardless of the contributor, or whether it's having a contributor that's been on 2, 3, 5 times, right? What has worked for you?
I think what has worked for us is, first of all, they see the value in what we're doing. And so when a channel partner sees the value in what we're doing, they want to participate again and again. Yeah. And that's because we prop them up and we lead with them versus us. The other thing, we probably could use a little help in this area, but the other thing I think is we publish most of our videos on LinkedIn, and we tag the company, we tag the person. So the person gets props and credibility as well as their organization. And our channel partners have seen a lot of success from that. And it seemed like, I should say success. They've gotten a lot of positive feedback from that. And so that gets them excited and makes them want to come back and participate in future videos. So, we could actually improve in that area, in my opinion. But that's what we've seen so far.
You mentioned positive feedback. I think this is really what kind of positive feedback? Like, who have they heard that from? How have you helped nurture that? Is this just positive feedback they're hearing from, their colleagues, their industry? Expand on that for me.
I think honestly, it's yes and yes and yes. So if we invite a fellow salesperson to come on to the AMAG Asks podcasts, their president sees it and thinks it's great. So positive feedback from that. And we post it out on LinkedIn, and then all of their peers and their connections on LinkedIn will chime in and respond with something positive, whether they are agreeing with the content or saying great point, and then elaborating on the content. So, we're propping them up to be thought leaders. They're looking positive to their community. And, so whether it's internal, like their internal, not our internal, but their internal company giving them positive feedback, or the community in general, giving them positive feedback once we share it on social. That's what we've seen. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, definitely. And Ray, I know that you guys have done a really good job of nurturing in that same way. Have you seen that, positive, like true positive feedback from their community? Have you seen that be a way that partners get locked in and turn into consistent contributors?
Yes, I have. And where I see it the most is going to trade shows and consumers coming up, then thanking me for the videos that we've done to explain different things, and how they follow some of our other partners now because of that collaborative effort.
There you go, folks. So I wanted to bring this up to say, again, the best way that you can start to get content from people in your community is by knowing that once you secure content from folks in your community, you have a baked in way to actually like create that positive feedback, because you have to trust that your partners, once you share out that content, once you equip those partners with the right content, once you equip those partners with the right kind of sharing material and mindset, that they're going to get that positive feedback and reinforcement. So trust in that, folks. When you engage a partner the right way, you pick someone that has a reason for being there too. You give them the right win-win pitch. You leverage your studio tools properly. And then you share it out with them and celebrate it yourself. The real reinforcement comes from when they hear it from grandma, or when they hear it from their sales colleague, or when they hear it from their president, or when they hear it from a customer. And they say, hey, I saw you in that piece of content. That was awesome. That one moment, I promise you, is so infectious, and it turns people into rabid content creators. Okay. We're giving people UGC rabies, I guess, with positive feedback here. But that's really the kind of energy that you can expect and should try to curate from partner content. So know that the best way to make it stick is play to that audience and help the people you're platforming get that win from within their own community. That's why the share kits matter. That's why you blasting things out on your socials matter. That's why you taking the extra moment to personally email that podcast episode with that partner sales, junior rep, emailing that to that partner's marketing point of contact, or that partner's president or CEO, and saying, check out your people. We love working with you guys. You guys rock. When those moments hit, when that turns into a domino effect, you are cooking. You are cooking. So folks, that about does it for today. I want to bring Ray and Kim back for some final thoughts here. But again, if we had to summarize, what does your 14-day pilot roadmap look like to get partner content chugging? It looks like, 1, find your first 5. Who are those first 5 contributors you can target from your partner ecosystem that have a reason for working with you? Number 2, what's the win-win? How do you pitch it to them that makes sense for that specific partner? What is their actual, chain link that's going to get them participating more consistently? It's different for everyone. So be thoughtful there. Step 3, how are you going to leverage Studio to improve these workflows? You're going to invite them in as a power user. You're going to send them a request so they have a light touch contribution. Or you're going to guide them through the contribution with a sit down interview. And last but not least, how do you create the positive feedback loop? How do you equip your people, your partners with the right content, the right assets so they can promote? How do you push this out to your channels? How do you make sure that their audience, the partner's audience, sees this content? That's how you turn that partner into a consistent contributor. So Ray and Kim, I want to leave you each with a last comment here. If you had any final piece of advice, final tip for our audience here on where they should start for launching their partner content, or maybe a major mistake to avoid, whatever final tip or piece of advice you want to give to our audience, feel free. I also muted you both, so you got to unmute here real quick. But Kim, we'll start with you.
Make it as easy as possible. What I do is get them to talk about themselves and provide a list of questions and prompts. And then I also offer some video tips and tricks. So, make a mistake, just keep talking. We can always start over. I do my best to put them at ease. So talk about themselves, give them a tip sheet, like a question sheet, and then a video tips and tricks in advance. That's what I do.
Boom. I love it. Prepare your partners, cover your bases. I love that approach, right? Leave less things up for chance, right? Control as many variables as possible. I'm with you on that one, Kim. All right, Ray, final piece of advice for our audience here on launching their partner-led UGC.
Well, I've got 3 if you give me the time, because I've seen some things in it. Number 1, don't wait. Don't wait for anybody else. Don't wait for somebody to have time. Move it forward, because waiting will just delay it and then will end up frustrating you. The second one is, and I got this from a friend of mine from Canon cameras, digital film is free. Just let the camera roll. Editing is what happens. If you had any idea how many hours of film was shot to make a movie and how many hours of film is on the editing floor, when it's ones and zeros, it's free. The final thing is have the courage to take that first step, because that's what's going to get you there, and you'll just build momentum from there.
Boom. I think on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. You guys have been great. Ray, Kim, thank you for your perspectives. I think if there's any final message, it's that one, right? Have the courage to ask your partner. Have the courage to sit down with them and say, let's do an interview. Easy. If it doesn't work with that partner, move on to the next one, right? UGC is all about iterative approaches to content. You're not going to strike gold the first time. And if you do, then congratulations, right? You should go check your jackpot numbers, right? But for most of us, it's going to take a little work. It's going to take a little bit of fine tuning and massaging to find the right partners, to find the right people, and to find the right pitches that get them to contribute consistently. So trust the process. I promise you guys will have success. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your input today. Again, Kim Rayfelt and Ray Novak. Kim with AMAG Technologies and Ray with ICOM America. It's been such a pleasure hearing from both of y'all. Kim, if folks want to get in touch with you, where can we point them?
You can, if you want to get in touch with me, just kim.rayfelt@amag.com, AMAG.com, or check out the website at amag.com.
And LinkedIn?
And LinkedIn. Yep, I'm there too.
Beautiful. Yep, always. And Ray, how about for you?
LinkedIn, all the socials, Ray Novak, all one word, at icomamerica.com. Or if you're a ham radio operator, my call sign, and I'm current.
Love that. Love that. Play to your community, right? It's only natural. Okay, Ray, Kim, thank you both for your time today. I'm looking forward to future sit-downs with both of you and looking forward to seeing how you continue to lead from the front with partner UGC. We'll be in touch. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's episode of UGC Workshop Live. Hope you learned something. Again, folks, you've got your 14-day pilot roadmap here to finally get moving on your channel partner content. And don't forget, this shirt is pending marketing review. This is yours if you engaged in the chat today and you joined us live on the program. So if you've been sitting here and you haven't put something in chat yet, get your message in real quick so I can make sure to send you this limited drop merch, okay? This is not coming back. So only a few of you are going to get to rock this this protest shirt for marketing red tape. So I'm excited to see everyone here on future episodes. This is such a great community. Love seeing the chat so active. Love seeing all of the great guests and all the great insights we get to share with our B2B community. If you have any ideas for future episodes, let me know. Hit me up on LinkedIn, over email, shoot me a ping over the little chat bot in studio if you've got it. I would love to know what you want to learn and who you want to learn it from. But till then, I'm Daniel Litwin, voice of B2B. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central on UGC Workshop Live. Cue the outro. Adios.